Hello, welcome to the Rini Tech Skills and Fundamentals. Today we are going to discuss that are both induction motor as well as DC motor works on same principle or not. So answer is yes, both DC motor and induction motor works on the same principle. That is, when current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field, it experiences a force. That means there is a conductor in both the motor which experiences a force because it carrying the current and as well as it is placed under the magnetic field. So when conductor experiences a force, it will rotate the whole rotor assembly because it experiences a force and it is free to rotate. So principle of both these motor are same, but how these motor are different from each other. So difference is how to produce the current in the conductor. In DC motor, we produce the current in the conductor by supplying the DC voltage through the commutator. But in case of induction motor, we use the conductor which is short circuited from both the sides with the help of rings, right? Short circuited rings we use to short circuit the conductors, and current produced due to Faraday's law, which is when conductor cuts the flux which is changing, EMF will produce in the coil or conductor. So this way we produce the rotating magnetic field in the stator with the help of three-phase supply. And when rotating magnetic field produced in the stator, it cut the flux link with the coil, and which is continuously changing in magnitude. So the EMF will induce in that conductor or coil, and because it is short circuited from both the sides, heavy current will flow through that conductor according to induced EMF. So this is how current produced in the induction motor. But in case of DC motor, we use the DC supply. Now how the flux produced? So in the DC motor, we use the permanent magnet, or we energize the pole shoe to produce the pole and S to produce the magnetic poles, but which are stationary, not rotating. But to produce the flux, in case of induction motor, we use the three-phase supply which is currently changing in the magnitude, voltage and current. It will produce the flux such that its magnitude will change. It will produce the flux such that it. So because in the induction motor, three coils are placed 120 degree mechanically also apart and electrically also 120 degree apart. So it produces the phenomena such that magnetic poles are created but rotating with the synchronous speed depending upon the frequency. So the maximum flux will not remain the same at the same time, but it will change its direction virtually. So it will produce the same effect like the NS poles are rotating. So this way in the induction motor we create the magnetic flux also, but which is rotating in nature. So we call it rotating magnetic field. So this way the principle of both the motors are same. That is, when we put the current carrying conductor in the magnetic field, it experiences a force. So force producing mechanism is same, but how to produce the current and how to produce the flux are different. Now question is, are other motors also work on the same principle? The answer is no. The switch reluctance motor working principle is different than the principle of DC motor and induction motor. Same way BLDC and synchronous reluctance motor also work on different principle, not the same principle like when we put the current carrying conductor in the magnetic field, it experiences a force.